Hey, hi, hello, good evening, welcome to the middle of the week. Hope y'all are doing well. I hope you all had a good weekend and a good start to this week. My weekend went pretty well. So the commitment I had was going out with some friends to watch a theater production. It was like a local theater show, and it was like my first time in a while that I went to see a stage production, and was pretty cool, right? Kind of enjoyed just like seeing how they built the set and like, you know, had the props and everything to give you the idea, right? Give you the sense of like where they were at and what they were doing and the kinds of things they were going for, right? That was pretty cool. And my week has been pretty standard, nothing too special there. But it does feel weird to just like have nothing big coming up, you know? It's like, oh yeah, I got a lot of time ahead of me. I can just like do whatever, right? Just go through my routine of the day and the week, and just otherwise I'm free to do what I want, you know? It's nice. It's nice having that free time sometimes. Evening! Good evening to you, Molecular Shadow Fox. It's good to see you, as always. How have you been? I hope you've been doing well. But in any case, we're back here, right? We're back here in Grid 2019 because we're continuing our DLC run. Yeah, just decided, hey, you know what? Might as well see the rest of Grid, right? We got through the career. I said I was gonna do the DLC. I never really got around to it, so I'm getting around to it now. Just doing some more of these events. Maybe we can have ourselves a chill race and chat, right, as long as we go through things here. Got through most of the street series, right? We got the big events to go, and then we have the showdown, and then we'll make some progress into pro racing. I suspect that we won't be able to get through everything in pro racing tonight, but we'll make inroads and see how far we can get, right? Been totally knocked out by a heavy dose of cold and coughing my lungs up every few minutes. Apart from that, I'm okay. Ah, man. Oh, well wishes for you. I hope you have a good recovery. Hopefully it'll be a quick recovery too, right? Because nothing feels worse than feeling like your health bar is just like in the red constantly. That never feels great. All right. On the soup diet till you get your sense of taste back. Yeah, good way to go, right? That's always the advice. Drink plenty of fluids, and soup is a good pick for that. It'll whatever kind of soup. I imagine chicken soup would be a good choice for that, because yeah, light on other stuff inside the soup, and the broth is. It's flavorful, but it's not like so rich that you might that it might be a bit of a challenge to down it, right? All right, let's get in here. Yeah, we'll stick with Honda, right? Got some oranges too, so I squeezed the juice into a cup and then add hot water and a touch of sugar. Oh. I've not heard of that remedy before. I know of eating citrus, but yeah, I didn't think about making juice out of it. I mean, of course, right? You can make juice out of oranges, but hot water and sugar too. See, whenever I was sick, my parents just used to give me like ginger ale. I got like ginger ale that's been flattened a little bit, so that, you know, the fizz doesn't get to me as much. Worked well enough. I've come to appreciate the taste of ginger ale, although I kind of prefer flavored ginger ales.
And here we are for the first round, Kristen.
So if we see something like
good, Alex. The opening race,
you know, the cranberry ginger ale or like the blackberry ginger ale, that's like the good stuff, right? Ooh, we're at a sunset too. Here we go. It feels like racing games are like the kind of game that feels like it's the least susceptible to like muscle memory, right? Because most of them have pretty similar control schemes, right? Especially these days. I think most of them usually have like right trigger accelerate, left trigger brake slash reverse. The only thing you really gotta learn are like maybe the face buttons. Although most of them will also have like a handbrake button and maybe a boost button if applicable. Weapons might be the one that changes a lot, right? Some of them might have it on like your shoulder buttons, others might have it on the face buttons. I don't think there's been like a modern game I can think of that's used like A to accelerate. I remember that being a lot more common back in the day. I think even most kart racer games will usually just do like a left trigger, right trigger kind of control scheme. It's been a while since I last played Mario Kart. Does that still do like A to accelerate? I think it does. I know it has a drift button and then a use item button. It's like drift slash jump, right? Because if you jump while turning, then you enter drift. Yeah, I was on Forza last week and I was totally zoned out while racing, like just total muscle memory, right? I feel like that with Grid too. It's like, oh yeah, right, as you see track ahead, right, accelerate until you see turn, then maybe brake and try to take a little easy until you can hit that accelerate button again. Man, this is a longer track than I was expecting. Again, with lap time of like 2 minutes 23, I guess that was kind of obvious, right? In case we got the first seed. Yeah, Forza especially. You would hope, right? I guess it would be most long-running games too, but yeah. Forza having the same control scheme, even across like different series, right? Like Motorsport and Horizon, largely the same control scheme.
For the first round, Kristen. How you feeling about this one?
Might be a change here or there to compensate for the difference of overall style, but for the most part, if you played one, then you could probably play the others. Right? When you get in that groove, it's like nothing can stop you. Oh yeah. When you finally hit your stride, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down. Uh-oh. Etc, etc, etc. Oh yeah. Sick drift. I think it's why these driving games are like especially good for like a podcast or a stream style game, right? When you don't want to concentrate fully on the game, you want to have something on the side that you want to maybe listen to or watch, then there you go, something to keep your mind engaged more so, right? Had trials like that, getting the first is like, don't miss the checkpoint, focus, oh. Yeah, that situation's like, yo, lock in, you better lock the heck in, right? Yeah, especially with trials. Man, first must be like the most anxiety-inducing, because you're there to set the pace and keep everyone afloat, you know? But I imagine for the people in the back, it's probably also just as stressful, because you're trying your darndest to try to not, like, bump into the other guys. You also, like, run blockers, too, so that the opponent cars don't try to get ahead of you. You have to be, like, a tightly managed convoy. Right, you gotta be a well-oiled machine, right? it can be when you have dropkick teammates. Yeah. The pitfalls of like team-based events. You'll have those folks who either try their darndest but they just can't, or other people who just want to watch the world burn, right?
Great first lap, you're leading the race.
And sometimes it's even worse than that. But yeah. It's like part of the reason why, if I do like cooperative stuff, I'll usually try to do it with friends I know. You know, people I have at least some sort of rapport with, so at the very least I don't... we can communicate better that way, right? And even if we do mess up, it's like, well, no biggie. Can at least say we tried our best, as long as you're not like funning around and trying to mess with each other and stuff, you know?
Now, just look at how they use the whole track to stay straight.
The folk that turn up in power builds and just use you as brakes, oh yeah, you're like the race cushion. You're just a stepping stone, right? Maybe like if it were like a basketball metaphor, they jump on you and then use it as a springboard to do like a 6 slam dunk. And I know that's not, I'm pretty sure that's not like allowed within the rules, but I imagine it's probably something like that, you know? Yeah. That's just like one big extension of like group projects in school. I imagine we all have had to do that to some degree. You had to go group up with your classmates, or maybe you got randomly assigned classmates, and you were like, all right, now you gotta do this thing together. And it's like, you're basically playing like gotcha, you know? You're getting gotcha with your project mates. Sometimes you get a decent group who can get all their stuff together, but most of the time you're gonna have some folks who just for one reason or another do not contribute as much as you want them to. Even worse if it's like no one in your group is useful and you have to end up pulling the weight for everyone.
Last lap, so hold the lead through to the end now.
On the other hand, if the teacher is like worth their salt, they usually have some sort of group eval at the end. So if you have any sort of grievances to air out at the end, then you can put that down and go, yeah, these guys maybe not the best, and then they can go adjust accordingly. Although I imagine that is ripe for sabotage as well. Overall, you just have to hope that, like, even with a couple of faulty pieces, the ones that are working will at least work for the right thing, you know? OMG, those projects are magnets for passive aggressiveness. And also aggressive aggressiveness. And sometimes passive passiveness. Group text chats be heated as all hell. Certainly had a few email chains like that. These are like 4 events back to back. Are they all this long? Part of me wonders if I should just skip past the hot lap and just go right into it. A little bit of time off, and I can have a little bit of fun trying to fight my way to the front of the pack, right? Well, at least I'm being paid appropriately. 300,000 credits. That's about as much as I hope to get out of this, right? With that, we are 25% of the way through this event. Oh man. Well, progress is progress, right? Basically just like subdividing a big task, right? Big task is get through the event, and the subdivisions are each individual race. It's neat. It's neatly divided out. Okay, that one's only 1.42 miles. So it shouldn't be as bad. You know, it's like... it's rain too? Oh yeah, day rain. Okay. So it might be a little tricky. Just have to be more careful around the turns, huh? You know, it's a game trend that I don't mind too much, the player cards. It feels like a number of high-profile games have those, right? Ones where you can, like, customize your profile to some degree or another. Usually by, like, giving yourself maybe a title and some sort of picture and an icon, but some of them even go further than that, right? Like, Grid 2019 lets you pick a number of icons and then even, like, how to lay them out. I don't know, I find it like a fun bit of player expression. Something I don't mind too much, right? I guess it also gives the devs excuses to include like a whole bunch of more items for you to work for, right? Instead of just having like, say, you know, vehicles or weapons or like perks or whatever, now they can throw in a bunch of profile decorations as well. I suppose if that's not your thing, then that might be annoying. Which I totally get. A bit like the badges Forza has, yeah! I was thinking of that. Kinda surprised Forza didn't also like throw in nameplates or something. It feels like something it would eventually get to, especially since like, you know, other Microsoft game studios games have sort of thrown in nameplates here and there. Right? Like Halo has it, I think Gears has it. I know those are both shooters, but still.
Good start. Hold the lead.
I guess it's a matter of time, right? It's probably a matter of time. Eventually we'll start seeing stuff like nameplates. Maybe you would have given an excuse to do like a Twitch drops run, right? Like, oh yeah, watch someone for 3 hours of playing Forza Horizon and you can get yourself badges and maybe cars and other decor. Maybe a wheel spin. I love giving wheel spins. Mixer would have been perfect for that. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That could have been Mixer's thing. Just Mixer completely bombed.
Final lap. Keep that lead intact.
I would certainly agree that, you know, competitors to Twitch and YouTube I would gladly welcome, but I guess Mixer was not it. Shame, because the XP thing for watching was so handy. I imagine it was. I actually did that, right? When I was playing Forza Horizon 4 on the Xbox, I would just leave the Mixer stream on so I could accumulate experience for that profile, just like get the items for it and stuff. Same. Shared brain cell is. Working overtime. But yeah, the few streams I watched on Mixer they all felt decent. If I remember correctly, it had like a fair bit of interactivity with them too, just like baked in. You didn't have to have extensions like you do on Twitch. Who knows? Maybe someday, right? Maybe someday if one of the other websites goes crashing and burning enough, maybe we'll see a competitor come up and actually grab a foothold. It's gonna be quite an effort, right? It's gonna be a titanic effort, especially since Twitch and YouTube are kind of entrenched in the content creator space now. You met a good friend of yours now through Mixer. Oh, nice. That's always a fun time when when like through means of onlineness you find some friends. My current friend group is I mostly met through online. Granted, they were like my brother's friends, but they accepted me into their group pretty readily. Can appreciate that.
Welcome to Paris and get ready for this Grid World Series event. Kristen, what can you tell us about this place?
It's Paris! Ah, you see that Eiffel Tower in the background? Happens when you least suspect it, and isn't that the truth, right? I feel like I do that with a lot of friends, right? Just like go back to how we started communicating. It's like, kind of quaint, right? Like sometimes it's a weird note, or sometimes it's just like, it starts off like kind of light, but eventually you settle in, you get comfortable with each other, and you're like, yeah, we're cool, we're buddy, Sometimes you look back, it's like, oh man, how did it turn out like this? But I'm glad it happened, right? I'm glad it happened. Man, driving through Paris makes me think of Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I imagine I've been bringing that game up a lot, but seeing so many people just lavish absolute praise over it makes me want to get into it. I want to play it, but I got other things on my plate. I want to finish South of Midnight. I want to play Sea of Stars, Throes of a Watchmaker. That one's coming out in like a little under 2 weeks now. I'm hoping it'll come out without like any major bugs or anything. Like my tentative plan is to play it Friday of the release week, but depending on what other people say about it, we'll see. Right, we'll see. I just know that when I start Claire Obscure, it's going to be a long runner. Right, it's going to be one of those long running series. So when I read the game takes at least 25-ish hours to beat if you're just going through the main storyline, so I suspect I will be spending longer on it. Especially since I'm like not the most skilled player. I heard that game is pretty challenging, so might need a few tries to get through certain battles. Look forward to it. I wonder if that'll become a thing. If it's like every summer I'll just have like one big game that I'll play through. Last year it was Project Cars and The Outer Worlds. The year before... I actually don't remember what I did the year before. I don't think I did any big games, actually, in summer of 2023. I did The Longest 5 Minutes, Sunset Overdrive, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart. You know, they were decently long, but I wouldn't say they were massive, right? They weren't all-encompassing like summer 2024 games were. That's for sure. The Messenger. More correctly, I played that one in winter.
Listen up. Hold the lead.
That was a
Last lap.
fun revisit, especially after playing Sea of Stars. Right, you go through the Messenger again, and you're like, oh, wow. So this was a reference to that, and that was a reference to that, and you see how kind of all strung together, right? Pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Especially when you get to like that part in the Messenger where you go through the ruins and then you go through like, yeah, we are two gods whose era has long passed, and you realize, oh, okay, so that's what Sea of Stars is based off of, right? These two gods who are not relevant anymore, right? Their story has already been told. At least it will be told in Sabotage's next game, right? But the car had a good run. Yeah, I spent a good amount of time playing through that. Like 7 to 8 streams worth. It's probably got a bevy of additional content since then. We might be able to give that one a revisit, perhaps. Another game I think might be up for a revisit is the Crew Motorfest. They put out a new playlist this week, so now we're back up to like 3 unplayed playlists, so it's about a good length for a Motorfest stream. And I enjoy Motorfest, so I'm totally up for showing off more of that. Even if it was it's all sponsored stuff, right? It's all, like 2/3 of it is Red Bull. The past 2 seasons have been all Red Bull. But hey, I want the events, I want the feats unlocked, and I want to show them off. We'll give that some wings, at least for a bit, right? Freedom Planet 2 and Super Meat Boy were fun times. I did enjoy Freedom Planet 2. And we do have 2 more characters to kind of get through on there, so that might be good for a revisit sometime down the line, right? So I need to do Carol and Mila. Although that Freedom Planet 2 looks like it's kind of a complete game, right? It's done. I know the devs are working on a fan game now, so it's probably fine, right? Freedom Planet 2 is a complete game as it is. We don't need to have any post-launch updates or anything. It's fine. Super Meat Boy forever. Yeah, I mean, I got through it in one stream, right? Managed to get through it in one stream. It was a good time.
And we're heading into the final round now, where it'll all be decided. Kristen, tell... Okay, sorry. We are about to get started.
I apologize to Kristen. I keep on cutting off the announcements before I let her say stuff properly, but I don't know, she gets to say stuff during the race, so maybe it's not so bad. But hey, you know, I got a lot of events to go through, so save the seconds here and there while I can, right? 5 streams on Mega Man Battle Network. I'm looking on your VOD playlist page. Oh man. Mega Man Battle Network was, so it was a fairly lengthy one, yeah. And one of them was like essentially a double feature too. I remember getting through one chapter and I was about to wrap things up. But then I got raided and I was like, oh, okay, we'll do another one, right? Do another one, keep the train rolling. And I did. I still have 5 other Battle Network games to go through. I'll at least save one for a Live 2D, post-Live 2D debut. It's totally gonna fit. Oh, you know what I want? I know Mega Man. Capcom's been pretty good with doing Mega Man Legacy Collection. I want to see them do like another Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. This one like just contains all the side games and stuff that the Battle Network series accumulated, right? Like Battle Chip Challenge and the DS editions of the games and Network Transmission and all that good stuff. I think they got enough games there they could do a Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection 3. Imagine people would be totally for that. Although they given a split like Legacy Collection, right? They split the GBA games between 2 Legacy collections. That might be a lot, right? Might be a lot to ask for. 9 streams on Dungeons of Hinterberg. Oh yeah! 8 on the main game, 1 for Episode Renault.
Good start. Hold the lead.
The dev team recently put out an announcement saying that they were moving on, right? They put out like one last update. They're like, yeah, we're gonna go start a new project. Which, like, you know what? It's fair, right? They've been updating that game for about half a year. Got a good number of additional stuff in there, so they're good to move on. There's another company that recently came out and said, yeah, we're wrapping up doing development for this game. It was like RoboQuest, right? Rise Up Games put out an article saying, yeah, it's been a while since we've said anything, but we just wanted to let you know we're going to move on to other projects. Which, again, you know what? Fair. They've been updating that game for over a year, I think, now. Right? Put out a bunch more stuff for it, and pretty good, endless, kind of more varied up mode to really test your limits. Right? So, a good spot. I'd like to see what they put out next. 10 years is a long time to be working on a game. But a pretty darn good game at that, so yeah. More recent games that you really liked, Mullet Mad Jack. Oh yeah. The gameplay of Mullet Mad Jack was pretty fun. I like the concept too, right? It's like, yeah, you gotta race through the level, kill a guy every 10 seconds or you die. Interesting idea for it, right? You know what was pretty funny? Was that, I did start up the game, like, a while ago, right? Went through the campaign again on, like, the super duper easy mode, because I think there was, like, one unlockable connected to that, right? It was the mode where they, like, removed the timer entirely, so instead you just have a health meter. And I was like, oh. And the game fundamentally changes, right? You can play it more like a standard FPS, but, you know, given that it was kind of built for a fast-paced nature, you know, still feels fairly easy, right? Story, the humor, the whole package, right?
So hold the lead to the end now.
The 90s retro wave aesthetic, the old anime style, the virtual unboxing. They had a good variety of modes too. At least I could see they had a good variety of modes, right? Something to really sink your teeth into once you get through the campaign. And you know what? I do appreciate that they did have a campaign, right? For maybe someone who's like maybe not as into the whole roguelike thing, but wants to see the setting and the story, they got that for you, right? Give you a bit more of a structured run, even if it is still procedurally generated to an extent. That's pretty cool. The fact that you got like meta upgrades after each chapter was pretty nice as well. To further ease your way through, right? If the variable difficulties weren't enough for you, you just play through the chapters enough and you'll be able to better manipulate your way to a good build, right? You can see that super easy mode being good for exploring and familiarizing yourself with the levels. Yeah, even they said that, right? That's for like, it's, you know, you get a bit more breathing room so you can figure out the rhythm and flow of things, right? So you can figure out how to react and how to get through things and recognize shortcuts and what have you. It works out. I appreciate that they word it like that, at least, right? I do like that. Difficulty levels for games these days tend to have like a bit more of an encouraging note, more of an understanding descriptor, right? You select easy mode and you usually say something like, yeah, if you need practice or if you just want to be like a goddamn superhero, go right ahead, right? Just pick this one and go nuts, buddy. Because sometimes you just have that. Sometimes you just need that, right? You just need to hop into a game and feel like you can take on the world and then some. There we go. 30 minutes later, we managed to complete an event. Granted, it's like a longer event, so... There we go. Driving back into this featureless Army of Two landscape. Another trophy for the trophy wall. Now we're going to GT Group 2. Look at that, I got a car for it. Gonna jump in there. We're gonna go. While we're talking about shooters, anyone see Gears of War is getting another remaster? Gears of War Reloaded. I guess it's going to have more technical improvements to kind of bring it up to parity with 2025. Although it did get a remaster. It's like Ultimate Edition, even it was 10 years ago now. And they are going to give an upgrade to Reloaded for anyone who bought the Ultimate Edition, so... Guess it's not as bad. Haven't they done enough of those now? I guess it is a little weird that they keep on going back to these old wells to draw them out. Like, I guess the biggest thing about Gears of War Reloaded is that it's going to appear on PS5, right? Because Gears of War was like an Xbox exclusive series before, but now this is probably an excuse for them to put it on the PS5. Although you could probably argue they could just like put out Ultimate Edition, right? Even if it is a 10-year-old game, they could just like stick that on the PS5. And they could, but who knows? I was just thinking that with Gears of War Reloaded, that might be an excuse for me to play through it. I remember playing through the original Gears of War like a very, very long time ago. It's like couch co-op with my cousin. We never did beat it, but I remember having fun with it. Granted, like third-person cover shooters were not as common back then, so it was pretty novel. Right? It's pretty novel.
Okay, don't be surprised if they're gunning for you now.
enjoy the ads or not. Feel free to do something else if you wanna. I will not judge.
Just hiding that rising line.
Hell, I'm still achievement hunting in Euro Truck Simulator 2. The devs keep adding more achievements with every map expansion.
Great first lap. You're leading the race.
It's on the flip side of, hey, if the game is complete, that's like totally okay. It is nice when a game just has a really, really long tail end. Especially when they're truck simulators. Especially when they constantly add more achievements for you to get. It's like more reasons to come back. I mean, the content's already like a big deal, but having achievements to go for is nice too. It is pretty amusing when you get a game that's like a real long runner has had a whole bunch of extra content added. And they have somewhere along the lines of like 500 achievements on Steam or something, right? Like you go look at Payday 2 and you're like, oh my god, that's a lot of achievements. Way more achievements than you may be comfortable with. If the game gets enough long-term support, then yeah, it's gonna all add up, you know. It's basically me with Vampire Survivors. Every time Vampire Survivors gets an update that like throws in achievements or they get new DLC that adds new secrets to go for, I'm like, yeah, we'll get back into it. I still haven't gotten all the secrets for the Castlevania. I'm only missing the ones that are like really that have like really esoteric requirements. Like I think the one that's really sticking me is that I need to defeat a certain number of enemies with a certain weapon. But like getting all the conditions to line up to be able to do that is kind of tricky, and I think I got burned out trying to get everything to line up multiple times. So like, all right, now that Emerald Diorama has rolled out, I'm trying to do a few runs to get the Emerald Diorama stuff and go back and get all the Castlevania stuff. And then there's also the free update that adds the achievements proper. It'll be 13 years old this November, and the devs are still supporting it. Well, there's still a lot of Europe to put in there, right? Same deal with American Truck Simulator. They still got a lot of the US to kind of expand into. I think they're fairly close to the East Coast, but they're not quite there yet. Enough time and you'll be able to do a cross-country trip. Although my friends and I were like talking with each other, it's like they're not gonna do like a separate DLC for every state, right? It's like, yeah, sure, some of the states might have a good amount of stuff that you can go through, but there are several others, especially in the Midwest, where it's really not gonna be that much. Right? It feels like it'll be the kind of thing where you might have to put a few states together in order to justify, pricing that the same as your other state DLCs. Russia DLC has been pushed back till probably never because of the war and stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, when real world matters kind of get in the way of everything. It's unfortunate. Would have been interesting, right? But it is what it is. Does make me wonder though. Will they ever do like maybe a Southeast Asia truck simulator? Would they be able to? I think the novelty of just being able to drive through Southeast Asia might be enough of a fun time. I know there are several island nations, so that unfortunately might not be as much of a draw, especially since like one of the draws of Euro Truck and American Truck is that you just have like one big interconnected region, right? Unless they want to like cheat or something by like having connecting bridges or some sort of flight system, but it wouldn't be the same, you know. Next one is the Nordic Horizons that expands on the Scandinavia DLC. Ah, it is pretty cool. Alright, it is pretty cool when they managed to build that map out. But hey, good on them, right? Good on them for supporting it for as long as they have and continuing to put out stuff. ETS just hits different to any other game. It's like farm sim. Yeah, it's like what we were saying, like with Forza and Grid and stuff, you know? You can kind of let yourself go, maybe not think too hard about what you need to do, because kind of ingrained into your muscle memory at that point.
Our expert on all things motorsport and our co-host,
do whatever else you want to do, or not. It's up to you.
Straight into the action, going into turn 1.
Truck sim. When I start collabing, that'll probably be one of the games I'll say, yeah, I'm totally up for that. Either Euro Truck or American Truck. I'm cool with both. And if we do Euro Truck, we can make jokes about how I would totally drive on the wrong side of the road and cause an international incident. Yeah, stick the cruise control on, get the music on, and just enjoy traveling through like the 10+ countries. Yeah, settle in for the long drive, right? Enjoy the sights, enjoy the scenery and everything. I gotta admit, part of me is like a little disappointed we never got The Crew Europe. Felt like it would have been the natural thing to go for next, right? After making a whole map based on the continental USA. It's like make a whole map based on Europe, right? Be a different feel too. Imagine a whole lot of different countries and architectural styles and kind of scenery and everything. Would have been pretty neat. They have themselves a big epic story too about you know, crossing several different nations, a big old conspiracy or whatever. Be a nice extension of the story they had from The Crew 1. Well, they decided to go into a different direction with The Crew. And I still enjoy those games, but yeah, part of me will always wonder, man, what if they did The Crew Europe? What if The Crew 2 was The Crew Europe? That might have been pretty cool. Some of those back roads are great driving roads.
3 laps to go.
It's nice, right? It's a change of scenery, you know? You're not just like driving on the highway and just seeing like trees and fields everywhere. You're like seeing a bit more of the local flavor, right? Sometimes it's like endless farmland. Sometimes you're just driving through like the smallest towns and you're seeing like the local shops and facilities and everything, and it's like, man, what must it be like living there, right? Living where everyone probably knows your name, where you know, you get really familiar with certain folks because they're the ones who can do the thing that needs to be done in that town. A lot more technical too in Europe, I can imagine. A lot more building roads kind of like in line with the landscape, right? As opposed to, say, trying to just carve a path through Or, you know, just having, like, lots of flat land,
2 laps
right?
left.
Like in Midwest US. Mountainside drives must be something, though. It's probably must be something. Both awe-inspiring and fear-inducing, I imagine. Like, driving through the mountain roads in the States is already a bit anxiety-inducing in me. I can't imagine what it must be like driving through mountain roads that are even probably even trickier to go through, right? Where you gotta even be more careful.
Listen up. Hold the lead. Last lap.
I just realized this race is 5 laps. Granted, each lap is like a minute, so they must be setting the number of laps in accordance to like how long they want the race to be. Right, so the tracks that are like 2 minutes long get like 3 laps, but if they're shorter than that, then they'll up the number of laps as needed. From what I've seen in American Truck Simulator, those logging routes are epic drives from Oregon up through Washington, etc. Oh yeah, it's the coasts where you get the more varied drives, right? Not just like driving through miles and miles of flat land. You got your peaks and your valleys and your curves, and you gotta be paying attention because, well, yeah, you just gotta, right? Another first. Oh my god. 70,000 credits. On the other hand, got a buttload anyway, so what's like a 10% charge on for like repairs and stuff, right? Pacific Highway. Oh yeah. I imagine that route is real scenic. There's a lot of beachside driving and mountain, ocean, coastal routes. Maybe some fields too. It's like a real-life outrun route, right? Kind of like that. Oh, this is a sprint race. 4 miles a sprint though, but we'll be through it. All right, we'll be through it. One and done. One and done. Yeah, get the roof down on your car and just cruise, right? Don't know where I'm going, but we're gonna go, right? We'll see where this road takes us.
Hello, Okutama. It's race day, and Kristen and I are on the scene. All right, we'll get back to that shortly because it's time to get started.
We're on the scene, and it's about to get hot. Well, actually, it might cool down because it's raining, you know? Although it might be like that kind of rain where things just get like super humid and super sticky, and you're just feeling like, oh my god, I'm sweating through my clothes and they're all sticky now, and I just want to go home and just like take a goddamn shower so badly. Part of me wonders if a sprint race should be the one I should make an exception for, and don't skip the hot lap. I don't have as much track to get the first here. Although I am making good progress, so I guess there's that. I'm about to make a nemesis of someone, though. Someone's gonna eventually have it out for me. Like, when it's hot for a few days and it thunders, that humidity is brutal. Oh, man. It certainly is. Right? You're like, I'm glad it's dry now, but, ah, geez, it's also muggy and everything. Kind of day where if you have to go out, you only want to go out to get something cool to drink or snack on. Or it's like you have an errand that you absolutely need to run at that point, right? Summer can be fun sometimes, but that's like one part of summer that I just gotta bear with to enjoy the rest of it, right? Something I just put up with for the rest of the summer. Super hot here this morning, 28 degrees Celsius when I went to stock up on food supplies. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that sounds brutal. God damn. And you had to go out to get food, too. So it's not like you had a choice, you had to walk through that. Oh, man. One of the old places I lived at, I had to walk to get food supplies, too. Thankfully, the supermarket was like maybe a block or two away, so it wasn't too bad. Right? It certainly could have been worse, you know. And with it being nearby, I could make multiple trips, right? Multiple smaller trips also. So that was nice too. But still, walking through the heat, not a fun time. Also, the warm breeze didn't help. Okay, yeah. A breeze of any sort, right? Especially if it like just matches the temperature you're in. Yeah. It'd be one thing if it were like a cool breeze, but yeah. Warm breeze certainly must not have helped. It's like how they have like a wind chill index, so like they have, yeah, this is the actual temperature, and this is what it's gonna feel like. They probably have that in the opposite direction too, where they have like the sort of like the wind heat factor, where it's like, yeah, it's actually this temperature, but it's gonna feel even hotter. There's probably multitude of things too, right? Not just the breeze, but also like humidity. So yeah, you put it all together, and it's like, yeah, it'll feel like this temperature. You're just like, blah. There was one thing I did see that was escaping the heat, at least more so than usual. Grand Theft Auto 6 apparently got delayed like half a year, so people won't be able to play it until like May 2026. So I guess it's escaping the winter, but still. People were really looking forward to that, but they're gonna have to wait a little longer. Well, I guess they were trying to placate folks by putting out a trailer that's like, yeah, here's another little teaser for what you're gonna be able to do in Grand Theft Auto 6. Here's hoping it comes out okay, right?
One too many times.
Hopefully it'll be as much of a touchstone as Grand Theft Auto 5 was. But I guess the real test will be, how will Grand Theft Auto Online fare, right? What will the GTA 6 version of that be like? Because I know they tried to do Red Dead Online for Red Dead Redemption 2, but they kind of stopped updating that after a while. It's like, oh man. Will GTA 6 Online be enough to keep people on, or will people still fall back to 5? I guess it depends on what they can bring forward, right? Is it going to be a full-on clean slate, or will they have like bonuses for you if you do certain accomplishments in GTA 5 Online? Got into town and the main road was shut because they were filming something. There's camera and lighting trucks parked up and stuff. Oh, that's a pleasant surprise. Especially if you're places like that kind of place that doesn't see a lot of kind of like big name activity, right? You just see like a celebrity or a big old movie production, and you're like, oh, something's going down. Fun times. I saw you can go hunting and fishing. With how much GTA seems to be becoming a life sim at this point, yeah. Hunting and fishing was probably long overdue. Although that game takes place in, oh, Vice City, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see how hunting would factor into that. Probably go hunting for gators and stuff, I imagine. Fishing, yeah, fishing absolutely makes sense. Because you're in, not Florida.
First lap, you're leading the race.
That being said, I'm looking forward to the other announcements where people are just going to go, oh yeah, so our game that was going to come out in May 2026, we're going to change that date because, well, you know what is coming out then, and like hell, we're going to go try to compete with that, like, goddamn. They might be Goliath, but we don't got the slingshots needed to, you know, pelt them and take them down, you know? Step aside for the big guys, and we'll take a later space, right? Because there were absolutely games that were kind of moving their release dates based on GTA 6's old release date, so now we got a new set of games that have to go through that whole song and dance. I wonder if there are any games that will riff on it. I remember Saints Row 4, I think was around the same release window as GTA 5, and they released like a pack that kind of was a bit of a riff on that. It was the GAT V pack, right? Instead of GTA, it was GAT V, and I forgot what they put in there to kind of justify naming their pack that, but I think it was like a bunch of GAT cosmetics and some sort of thing with a V in it, so you can say, yeah, this is why we called it the GAT V pack. I miss Johnny Gat. I miss Johnny Gat too. I feel like it's been far out enough that if they try to bring him back, it'll feel weird. I'm sure there will be other just barely hanging on to sanity characters in the future, right? Ones that can have a bit of fun with. We'll always have Saints Row 1, Saints Row 2, and Saints Row 4 to remember Gat by, you know? See it through with the dumpster fire. That was the reboot. Yeah, unfortunate about that. Especially since Volition kind of folded not too long after that. So we'll never get that redemption arc for him anymore. It's a bummer. Always sucks when you see a company go out like that, right? Good run of things, but they get one stumble and it's like, ah. That's all they were. I'm sure the team members are at least reassembled in some manner to do something, but still a shame, you know? speaking of other company closings, I think Respawn recently had a announcement put out there like, yeah, we're doing a directional shift. We're putting the kibosh on some projects that we had in early development. Also, a bunch of employees will be impacted as a result of this. It was weird, right? Because it felt like they were trying everything they could to not say, yeah, we're laying people off. Definitely felt like they were laying people off. Also, a bummer for anyone who's like looking forward to more Titanfall, because apparently one of the canceled early projects was a Titanfall game. Right, even if it wasn't Titanfall 3, at least it was like Titanfall something, but I'm not getting that. God! They had an absolute slam dunk with Titanfall 2, and any follow-up they had would have been excellent, and they just did not capitalize on it. Or could not, because of EA for one reason or another. It's frustrating. Would like to see Shaundi go back to her OG look with the dreadlocks. Fun Shaundi! They even knew, right? Even the Saints Row series knew people preferred Saints Row 2 Shaundi, because she was called Fun Shaundi. It was pretty jarring though, right? The tonal shift Shaundi had from kind of like a fun-loving party girl to really, really straight-laced woman she became in Saints Row the 3rd. I think they tried to reconcile that in 4. I think they succeeded to an extent, right? They made it work out. There we go. Another one done. 30 minutes later. And even with skipping the hot laps, still taking a bit. Just might be like a race thing, though. Straight up ball breaker. Yeah, she really became like the take no crap kind of person, right? I wonder if part of it was because Kinsey became like a character in 3, so they figured they could only have like one sort of fun character, so they made Shaundi. They gave Shaundi like that drastic personality shift. I don't know. I'm spitballing. I don't know what the reasoning was. We'll probably never know.
And here we are for the first round, Kristen. How you feeling about this one?
Look, I feel like it's
Okay, sorry. We are about to get started.
Oh, speaking of shelving, this is probably like a bit more relevant to what we're doing now. Apparently, Codemasters is halting development on like their rally games, and they did a lot of those. I know my friends play a lot of their rally games, and kind of a bummer that we're not going to see more. Always a shame. At least that regards it's a shame, right? When it feels like they could have done more, but
stay out of their pond. Don't
they're
get taken
not
out.
going to get that chance. EA has dumped their rally game too. Yeah. Shame really, because I like the whole make your own rally car and stuff. Yeah, making your own car is fun. Bummer about that. It's like, sure, you always have the old games to go back to, but, you know, their development is finished. They're at a static state, so whatever quirks they might have are there, and eventually people will figure it out. You know, they'll figure out the times and everything. There will be nothing to shoot for anymore. I guess this is part of the reason why the mod scene is so important, huh? This is why being able to mod games is important. Like, either just have support, like, right front and center, or maybe not get too ornery if someone does decide to mod your game. Game's real good, and people are really dedicated. They can breathe a whole lot more life into it. In some cases, it might be even like a whole new game entirely. In fact, it could be even like a launch pad for a career, right? I know I've read a few stories about how some people started out with modding games and they eventually get picked up by a video game company proper.
Hold the lead.
And, you know, working with a video game company on an official manner is like the whole different can of worms, but it's kind of cool, right? It's kind of cool they were able to go on that path, and that the companies were like recognized their work and were like, hey, you just want to work with us in official capacity now? It's always neat. Very talented, some of these mod makers. Yeah, absolutely, right? The really good ones make things that feel like they could just like slot right in perfectly with the original game, right? It's like it's in there. Feels like it could be a part of the game itself. Oh, you know, ones that like do whole total game conversions, right? Like the people who do like the big old game conversions for games like, say, XCOM or Elder Scrolls or heck, even Doom, right? That's like a whole different level of modding you gotta do to kind of make this new thing work with the base game, you know? Sure did. But it's fine. I'm still fine. And look at what Pro Mods have done for ETS. Total map overhaul and added Africa. Opens up a whole new world. Dude, okay. That's impressive, actually, yeah. Things like that, right? The entirety of Africa. Just a whole ass new continent for you to drive through. That's pretty cool. Certainly paves the way for future mods too, right? Just imagine a whole mod for like South America or you know, Southeast Asia, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah, head over to Egypt and see stuff like the pyramids.
You're through the halfway point.
Well, you know, places I imagine have some iconic landmarks for you to go through.
Red Bull Series is really turning up the heat here.
I don't want to take too many hits.
Yeah, if they added Mexico to American Truck Simulator, could do a Horizon 5 tour. Mexico would be a natural fit. I guess Canada too, while we're at it. Although they probably have to change the title, right? It wouldn't be American Truck Simulator anymore. It would be like North American Truck Simulator. And if they were to add like Central America and South America to it, that would just be America's Continent Truck Simulator. I don't think there's any truck routes that go all that way, right? There's no one who takes up a trucking job that starts at like, you know, the Illinois or something, and you have to drive all the way to Brazil. That's not a thing that happens, right? Not just from a practical standpoint, but also, you know, like the whole logistical standpoint. You know, there's probably a lot of paperwork to go through, a lot of different rules and guidelines you have to follow. You know, a bunch of different things you have to pay attention to. That'd be a lot. It'd be a lot to keep track of. And if you were gonna like haul, you know, whatever supplies you haul through the truck, would probably be better served just by flying it there, right? Just like shove it into a plane and fly it to the destination. Probably be easier and cheaper that way, I imagine, right? You just do a truck for the first and last legs of the route, but imagine either a flight or a ship would be a lot more efficient way of doing things in the middle. Even the company you work for doesn't go that far, I can imagine. I don't think there's any company that would be insane enough to go, okay, we're gonna cross a whole bunch of latitudinal lines for this route. I want to do that just for kicks now. After this stream, I'm just gonna go to Google Maps and go, okay, just gonna go plot a route from like the highest point of the Americas to like the southernmost point of the Americas, and see if you know, you can like establish a driving route out of it. See what they say about that. Yep, your work uses 747 jumbo jet cargo planes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's thinking logistically and logically. I have spent 9 minutes on this race. 9 minutes! It's a really long time. Granted, it is like the last race of the Street series, so... Also, did I read that correctly? That only gave me like 40,000 credits. How do they decide these payouts? Why do they feel so arbitrary? Weird seeing the nose of a jet like that open on a hinge. It must be. Right, because like most planes you get on, usually get on through the sides, but... You know, the front is where they stick the cockpit, but... I guess on a larger plane, that's where you would have the hangar, right? The storage bay. Hi, Brent Holden. How are you doing? Doing well, just eating. Getting your nourishment in. Getting the noms in. Hope you have some tasty food. Or at the very least, filling food, right? At the very least, it'll keep you full for a bit. At least they're not ugly like those ones that look like a beluga whale.
And tell me, what does this circuit have to offer?
I think like planes more so than any other craft have to kind of be built in a certain way, right? You want to have it be you know, aerodynamic and things like that, right? You don't want to like it's designed to be an active hindrance to its functionality. Saying, if a bunch of engineers got together and were like, okay, so beluga whale will get us the most efficient design for this plane, then sure, right? Better it look unsightly than actually be unsafe, you know? Or inefficient. That's my thought, anyway. Man, this is like comparatively shorter. One minute laps, and I only got to do 4 of them. It's like they knew, okay, so that last one was a bit of a marathon. We'll ease it up on you for this one, right? It'll be a shorter race. I wonder if this was like part of the event design process. They were like, okay, so this event with its average lap time of X minutes and this many laps will probably last around this long, right? And then this other event will be around this long. You gotta try to kind of crunch the numbers so that the overall event lasts this long, right? I wonder if they went through that. Given like how hyper corporate EA can be, I imagine that had to be part of the design process, right? Maximize the player experience or something like that. Yeah, break out the calculators. Get the whiteboard, maybe jot some notes down. Yeah. Fiddle with the numbers until you get a satisfactory overall event length. That feels fitting for the penultimate event in a particular class.
Listen up. Hold the lead. Last lap.
You know, it was the one thing that had people speculating for a brief moment. It was like last Friday. There was an interview someone did. I think someone's like connected to the Chrono franchise, and people initially thought that the person said that there was a Chrono Trigger remake in development. That got people like super excited, but they quickly put out a correction. I was like, oh wait, no, that was a translator's error. There is actually no Chrono Trigger remake incoming. And people were like, oh. The last Chrono game we had, it was actually like the Chrono Cross remaster not too long ago. But as far as Chrono Trigger goes, I think the last notable release was like the Steam edition, which actually ran into like a ton of problems, but they fixed them up to some degree. Kind of like the last significant update before that, I think, was like the DS version, right? Because that one actually added like some extra content for you to kind of go through, but apart from that, not too much on Chrono Trigger, so I see why people would get super excited for the prospects of a remake, but alas, oops, we're dashed, right? Maybe someday, but today is not that day. Also a good lesson in maybe holding your applause, right? Be excited, but like don't don't go celebrating just yet, you know? It's like, oh yeah, Chrono Trigger remake, that would be fantastic, but, you know, we want more than just like a guy saying it in an interview, even if he is like a pretty significant guy in the creation of the series, right?
We are about to get started.
Make sure that the source is confirmed and everything like that, right? Kind of like with Hollow Knight Silk Song, because the Switch 2 Direct, right? The people's hopes came back up because they showed like 3 seconds of Silk Song footage during like an indie sizzle reel during that Direct, got people super excited. It was like prior to that, didn't hear much from Team Cherry, the developers of the game. They had one tweet that was like, yeah, we're still working on it, hold tight.
Oh, they won't be happy with that.
People were kind of just resigned to, okay, well, we got some, so we'll just wait a few more years and see what further news develops. And then we got that, and you got people like super duper excited. It's like, oh my god, it's alive! Alright, it still exists. And people were also like, oh yeah, that's coming out 2025, it's absolutely gonna come out 2025. I remember being a little bit skeptical, right? Because was the one Xbox showcase in 2022 or 21 also had it, and there was like a pretty significant spot in the trailer and everything. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wait, right? We'll see what develops, right? I will be optimistic, but I won't hold my breath. I think Team Cherry recently said that Silk Song is going to be playable at an event, like an event in Australia, so I'm a little bit more hopeful now, right? Because if Team Cherry is confident enough in the state of Silk Song that they're like, okay, we'll let some people play it, right? Play a early build of it, and you know, I'm a bit more hopeful now, right? Hopeful that we'll see Hollow Knight Silk Song finally come out in 2025 and kind of put an end to this. Hopefully we won't see it become the next Duke Nukem Forever. And hopefully it won't meet with like the same end fate that Duke Nukem Forever did. Hopefully it'll come out and be a good game. That's all I want now, right? For it to come out and also for it to be good.
Okay, you're halfway through the race.
Because nothing would be more disappointing for it to finally come out and for it to be half-baked one way or another. That would be the ultimate bummer. He said Legends. Was that foreshadowing for Grid Legends? Nah, it isn't. Most likely isn't. Calling people legends is just a common thing you do, you know? Although you usually reserve it for, like, for people who, like, made the significant impact one way or another, you know? Ones where you go, yes, they're a legend, and you go, ah, yeah, I can see why.
Last lap, so hold the lead through to the end now.
Gets thrown about willy-nilly, as most words tend to be, right? Good number of words that have like a specific definition, but over time kind of gets watered down to like a really general term. Ultimately coming down to, you know, person did something I like / did not like, you know. Kind of like Epic back in the day, right? I know there were some people who got really, really mad that people were just throwing around Epic for everything. Right, especially when Epic originally had, like, weight to it. You know, when something was epic, you expect it to be like big and dramatic and stuff, but you know, people say epic enough, and it kind of just pass on by these days, right? You were just thinking epic? Yeah, kind of came to my head too. I think there used to be a whole website for it. Used to be a whole website for stop saying epic. People were that irritated by it. That and goat. Admittedly, I haven't heard goat as much these days. Might be because it was overused and people were tired of it, but... yeah. This just like ties into the greater desire for people to declare something to be the best thing ever or the worst thing ever, right? There's like, doesn't feel like there's an in-between, right? Either it's like 10 or a 0.
And we're heading into the final round now, where it'll all
But yeah,
be
I
decided.
go out of my way to
Tell me what's
avoid
gonna
saying
happen.
epic unless I feel like something truly
Race is about
meets the original definition of epic. But even then, I'll usually say, oh yeah, that was like pretty grand, or you know, dramatic, or that really had me on the edge of my seat. Although I guess that phrase is kind of overused too in a way, but still, right? Not to the degree of epic.
Based on that one, but right.
I think you have to be careful now. You might have pushed them too far.
Push them over the edge. Metaphorically, not literally. Like those vids you see on YouTube, like greatest and most epic. Oh my god. I just like how much I dislike those kinds of titles, right? The ones that feel like they're deliberately provocative. And yeah, this is things like, oh yeah, this is the greatest thing, or is this going to change everything, or this is the worst thing to happen, or something like that. Or, you know, they will phrase things as a question, as if they want you to click on the thing. Same total clickbait, yeah. Why did the title writing meta change, right? Like, I was taught in school that a title should summarize the thing you're writing about, right? It shouldn't be, like, you know, a question that doesn't answer the purpose of why people would want to read your thing. Has to be some sort of misguided notion that if they read the title and glean everything they need from it, then they don't click into the article. But details are important. At least I hope details would be important for folks, you know. If people want to just go through the title and go, okay, I got the Cliff Notes version of it, fine. But if people want to maybe click into the article and read more about it, they can. I guess that doesn't generate the revenue. You can't get your precious ad bucks if they just pass over your article.
Turning the corner with ease there, Alex.
You really hate 10 things you didn't know about such and such? I remember BuzzFeed and everyone kind of mocking their listicle format now. Seems like a lot more sites are doing the listicle thing. It's like, It's even worse, right? Even what's worse about the ones that aren't just articles and are instead slideshows, right? You instead have to like click a button to go to the next point instead of just like having it all out there. Oh, there we go. That's the third long street event done, so we'll be able to go to the showdown next. I mean, we were able to go to the showdown before, but you know, I want to just be thorough with this, you know. I want to do everything. Yeah, let's do it. 1 round, but let's see how long this one is. Could be an extra long race. 5 laps, 3.31 miles. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty long one. Buckle up, folks. We're going to be here for a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if this were like greater than 10 minutes. I gotta admit, though, right, as much as I say I dislike the, 10 things kind of article, I did read a lot of Cracked back in the day, right? Remember when Cracked used to do articles like that? It was like 6 dumb things they put in movies, or 5 things you didn't know. I realized that the whole BuzzFeed listicle trend was kind of just following in the footsteps of that, in a way, you know? So I can't say I'm like entirely blameless as much as I want to. Websites. Is the Onion still kicking? It's been a while since I've gone there, but I enjoyed it back in the day because they just had like the silliest articles, and I just enjoyed just like how it would report these absolutely absurd situations with the utmost of seriousness. Even better was when they did like the little news show style videos, right? Where you got the people on the desk and the guys on the field, and they're all doing their bit. I think my personal favorite was it random bullshit or something like that, right? They were just like talking about yeah, there's some random bullshit going down right now, and they never specified what it was. It was just all bullshit. So that's pretty cool. Satire, sensationalized live on the field reporting. Come a long way from when we had stuff like Rotten.com. Oh my god. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Yeah, remember when aggregate sites were a bigger deal? I think these days it's mostly like review aggregates like Metacritic and Rotten Tomato.
First lap, you're leading the race.
Nowadays, internet's like mostly social media and company websites. You don't see too much in the way of like personal websites these days. They're out there for sure, but it seems like as more and more companies kind of just stake their claim, there's less of a reason for fan sites to kind of get out there and do their thing. It's a blessing and a curse. On one hand, you're getting information straight from the companies. On the other hand, I don't know. There's something of like a frontier feel to like the personally owned websites, right? Something about people kind of building those sites together and gathering the information and compiling them all into one space and being able to meet like-minded folks who are fans of the same thing you are. Just being able to shoot the breeze that way. Sometimes I miss those days, you know? Something about just like going home after school and being like, oh man, now I can visit my favorite forums and see what everyone's been talking about since I was in class. You know, you didn't have mobile phones back then, right? Or if you did have them, they weren't like completely internet capable, so it's not like you were able to check in on the forums during the day, so you had to wait till the end of the day. It's like a whole 8 hours-ish worth of posts that could be on there, right? Depending on the forum you're on, that could be like a lot of new stuff to check out, right? Yeah, the message boards! Ah, message boards. And the days where you pick a little picture to represent yourself, and then you put in some HTML code for your signature, and then maybe if the boards permit, you'd be able to customize your title to...
Just smooth it out, one turn at a time.
Of course, with everyone being kids, you might change the text style you're posed to, right? Might not be like the standard font that comes with the message board. You might go, oh yeah, what if I made my text red, right? Made it red and underlined and you know, bold impact rather than the default. Oh, and custom emotes. There's some forums that had custom emotes too. I know a couple game fan sites I went to put in like game-related emotes. I guess you have them to some degree with like the Discord servers, but it's not the same, you know? It's not the same. Yeah, the image code for pictures. Right, you upload the pictures you want to like an image hosting site, and then you'd have to, you know, link them. Right. Oh my god, PhotoBucket! That was the site I used. Actually, the site I used for my image hosting. God, I got so much mileage out of PhotoBucket back in the day. And as I stopped using forums, I kind of fell off the use with PhotoBucket. To the point that like I would occasionally get an email, right? I would actually get an email from PhotoBucket that was like, yeah, we're changing things and the amount of images you have exceeds the new storage limit, so if you could just like get back in and pare down that would be great. I held off on it for the longest time until they got that email that said, oh yeah, okay, so we're just gonna delete accounts if they haven't been logged into after a while. So I figured, alright, now's the time I'll just go in, download all the pictures, and be done with it. So that's what I did, right? Just like went into my PhotoBucket accounts one last time, downloaded all the pictures I ever uploaded. And that was all they were.
2 laps to go.
Use that for your ref pics for your Sonocoms. Nice. I actually didn't do comms until much later, so I used Google Drive. It works well enough. Although I have to remember, if I like, you know, link to stuff on Skeb, I have to remember to make sure to make the links public. Or at the very least, accessible by other people. Do I think Skeb actually has a thing? They have some sort of check they do, where if your Google Drive link is not accessible, then they automatically decline the request, so you gotta pay attention to that. I think they actually spell that out as like the declining reason. But yeah, I imagine if I like if I did commissions back in the day, I'd probably use PhotoBucket as well. Because I think they also had settings that let you display an image publicly and everything, so... yeah. I'm not using Google Drive. if I just need to like upload an image in general for like a public site, I'll go to vtuber these days, right? It's like the one image hosting site that doesn't require you to open an account to upload images. I wonder how they do that. Like, I imagine storage isn't cheap, and with the rate people upload stuff, they gotta have just like tons and tons of servers full of like hosted images and videos and stuff.
Final lap. Keep that lead intact.
2-minute, 20-second laps, 5 laps. That means we're almost reaching 12 minutes with this race. It's a long time to be spending on a single race. At least it's just a one and done, right? It's a one race. Yeah, you get in, you get your results. Hopefully it's good enough to pass, and then you move on with your day. If you need to share a quick pic in a chat or something, you use ImageBB. Haven't heard of that one. Maybe I'll check it out. I could use another option for image hosting. Yeah, just for like one reason or another, ImageUR is not doing it. Be even better if you could see over that flapping boot. Maybe if I get good, I wouldn't have to deal with a flapping boot. I kid. I'm doing fine. I'm just waiting for the confetti. When I see the confetti, I know we're close to the end. And we can move on to the Pro Series. Ah! We're rolling with it. Gonna roll with it. Too bad I already did a short about spinning out and being able to continue as I was. Candidate for it. Yeah, it's not damage, it's ventilation. Right, yeah, the engine's getting hot. We need to improve the airflow so that it doesn't, like, catch on fire. You know, it's not the fun kind of on fire either. Yeah, that's efficiently, right? I'm guessing there's no confetti because it's raining. Because, of course, there won't be confetti when it's raining. It's just a logical progression of things, you know? Oh, there we go. Showdown 1. Street Series is complete. So now we gotta go through the Pro Series, and then we gotta do the overall Season 1 series. And then we can go to Season 2. Probably won't happen tonight. Those 4 events, those 4 events alone took almost 2 hours. Yeah. It is nice though. You know, I appreciate that too. The little musical ditty they do when you complete like a significant milestone, right? Like completing every event in the series. They're like, yeah, we'll give you a little thumbs up for that. Feels nice. All right, it's off to pro racing. We're getting off the streets for a bit. And we're gonna go professional in our Grid Edition Porsche, or do we want to do Grid Edition Chevrolet? Maybe we could do like another one of these vehicles. Screw it. Let's go in Aston Martin. I'm feeling a little fancy. It's like if you ever get pulled over for weaving all over the road, you can just say, I'm just warming up my tires. Yeah, there you go, right? Gotta improve that grip. You know, you never know when you gotta take that curve super hard, and you definitely don't want to spin out. That wouldn't be a good thing for anybody. Not for the driver, that's for sure.
We're coming to you from the other side of the globe, from the Sydney Motorsport Park. Kristen, it's your home turf. What's your take? Okay, hold on, sorry.
On second thought.
We're about to get underway. A furious start and being green look at the block from Canyon Taps going into turn 1.
A 3-lapper.
I think you may have upset them.
That's probably what Nemesis means, right?
In this race.
Oh. Track limits exceeded. Okay. I forgot that was a thing. I'm in front now, so I can be on the up and up. Won't have to worry about me anymore unless I, like, not take turns well enough and suddenly veer off course. Could use that rear diffuser as a meal tray. It's a nice wide table, right? You could have yourself like a little potluck party on it. So totally be the kind of thing you like see someone pull up to with a tailgating party, and then they just like bring out the hot plates, and then they put all the dishes on top, and they're like, yeah, have fun, enjoy. Knock yourself out.
Good start. Hold the lead.
And you know what? If you just pulled up, right, depending on like how your car is built, maybe you could use like the hood for like a cooking thing too, right? Like put a pan on the front hood, or like, you know, wherever the engine is, and crack open a few eggs, or maybe put like some burger patties or hot dogs on it, or pizza or whatever. Cook them that way. That would be an absolutely wild way to get a party going. Yeah, while you're at it, engine cook bacon and stuff. Yeah, have your bacon dogs and your bacon burgers. Homer Simpson did that with pizza. You like put pizza on the hood and let it cook that way? Wouldn't be surprised. I imagine people in real life have done that too. And sometimes they don't put it on the hood, right? They just need to put it in the car, right? Just need a car in a reasonably hot location to probably cook something. On one hand, it's like really funny if you do it with food. On the other hand, there's a reason why in hot areas they usually tell people to make sure you get everyone out before you leave the car, right?
Final lap now.
Listen up. Hold the lead. Last lap.
But yeah, I think there was a video I saw not too long ago where someone did cook a pizza in a car. Like, they didn't just, like, leave it in the car, they also had, like, a special convection kind of setup with oil and everything that really focus in the heat so they can really let the pizza cook. It was pretty funny. Engine block takeout. There you go. You know, when they said meals on the go, I don't think this is quite what they meant by it. Tailgating parties, though. They kind of have a similar camaraderie to forums, right? It's like a bunch of seemingly random folks getting together, all with like a shared interest, and you can kind of bond over that. You know, maybe depending on the people you meet, you might find some other folks to hit it off further in one way or another, right? Things can go from there. I guess the difference between the two is that with the forum, you will most likely see them again, and with tailgating parties, you might not see them again unless you go to like the same events a lot or have like a lot of similar interests. I guess it's like that flash in the pan feeling too, right? The paths cross for that moment, you have the best time ever, but eventually you must part ways and return to your regular life. Got me covered for beverages. Your semi at work has a fridge, freezer. Nice. It's good to have a portable fridge. You never know when you need a cold one. Or just like a cold drink, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be a cold one. It could be like a cold water, or a cold soda, or cold juice. You know, whatever you prefer. Man, I miss these short events. The single events where you're like, get in, get out. 6 minutes, just like that, right? Like the Rick and Morty meme, but just the first part of it. You're not there like 20 minutes there going, ah! But it's gonna ramp up. It's gonna ramp up like it did for the street scene, right? And you can see it here. You have the endurance challenge, your 4-rounders, your extra long showdown. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Let's just go with Porsche. Had bottles of water in the fridge that have turned into a slushie on the top. Oh, like partially frozen over. There's something about that I find okay. Right, you know, as long as the water's still good, right? It's like when you get the water bottle that's like partially frozen, so you have something like a frozen core, so the water stays cold. Something about like ice cold water. It really hits different when it's hot out.
And this is gonna be a good one. Kristen, what has the grid work on the wrong side of the track limits there?
Alright, so this is a time attack event. Ice cold peach flavor. That sounds pretty good. It's one thing to have a cold drink, it's another thing to have a flavored cold drink. It's like having yourself a slushie. I don't necessarily need to get ahead of them, I just need to be faster. Although getting ahead of them would usually imply that you are faster to an extent, right? Has to be half and half with the slushy, like half ice, half
Yeah, look, we really have rice.
half fluid. Ah. What was my aggression meter with you? I felt like that was deliberate. Oh, right, half flavors. Okay, yeah, half blue raspberry, half cherry. Right, the old icy thing. Or at least I associate it with ices. I know you can do that with whatever slushy, but yeah. Yeah, no, you're totally right. You gotta do like half and half with the flavors. Although personally, I preferred like half cola, half cherry. Because, you know, cherry cola. I thought it was alright. I did that with a lot of drinks though, right? It wasn't just slushies. If I got like a fountain drink from a fast food restaurant, I would usually like, you know, do like half Sprite, half High C, whatever they had there. Or lemonade if they had that. Sprite with lemonade seems to be like a popular beverage, especially amongst like Asian folk. Lemonade and blackcurrant. Alright, now if you were like super lucky and were able to get like strawberry and lemonade, just combine those together. I think like most anything in lemonade would probably work.
A lot of training out there.
Yeah, we did it. 100,000 credits. Let's go. Or are those grid bucks? Did they ever specify what that currency was? Or are we just like collecting grid tokens? We have like 30 million grid tokens right now. Just like trying to imagine if each token was like the size of say a silver dollar. Probably need like a whole ass warehouse to store them. Right? Warehouse the size of a city block to contain like 36 million grid tokens. Peak drink is a cream soda with vanilla ice cream. Mmm. Good old soda float. I like a soda float. I think my most recent soda float was like orange soda with vanilla ice cream. It was like eating a creamsicle. It was tasty. I also like doing cola floats. But yeah, cream soda with vanilla ice cream, pretty good combo too. I like that.
Now, where it'll all be decided.
It's good stuff.
Kristen, tell me. Okay, hold on. Sorry. It looks like things are about to get underway.
You're making me want one.
Down there in the chat.
I want to get one too, actually. Maybe next time I go shopping, I'll see if I can pick up like a bottle of root beer or something. Or orange soda. I could go with that. I know a few places that sell orange soda.
Close to me and surely looking for that overspeed he sent you now.
You know what I regret? I had an opportunity to get like orange vanilla Coke and like raspberry Dr. Pepper in the store, but for some reason or another I did not. I didn't get it. And I went home and I was like, I should have gotten it. I probably should have gotten it. So hopefully they'll have those flavors out there next time I go out to the store. Maybe I'll pick it up then.
That's a really fast lap, Alex.
Rain's pretty hard here, so gotta be extra careful when I do the turns, because it easily spiral out of control. You know what I've always wanted to try? Since we're talking about floats, I've always wanted to try like the melon soda floats. You know, the ones you see in like anime or when someone does like a travelogue in Japan. They have like at least one shot of the soda, or you know, the cup with like the green soda, and And the scoop of ice cream, I've always wondered what that tasted like. I want to give that a try.
Taking a bit of bait there.
Because I imagine it's got to be pretty good, right? Got to be a reason they keep doing it, you know? If I ever go to Japan, that's going to be on my list, right? Try a cream soda float, or a melon soda float. Amazon does strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper. Oh, do they? I should probably check that out then. Although I admit, I'm like a little wary of getting soda delivered. I imagine it'll probably be fine, but I'm always worried about that off chance, right? The off chance that, like, I don't know, one of the cans explodes or something, and then your whole package just becomes all, like, wet and covered in soda and just, like, messes everything else up, and, like, As wonderful as strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper sounds. $15.99 for a 12-pack. That sounds, but that's about the rate that 12-pack sodas go for around here, right? I think that goes for like roughly $8. That's a going rate I've seen for 12 packs around here, yeah. Hello, I'm Mentrix VT. Welcome. Thanks for checking me out. Spin-nala. I know that's a meme. It's an F1 meme, right? I actually learned about another F1 meme a little while back. Raw Seek. RAWECEEK. Comes from like a poster where for some reason they decided to put like Race Week in a square format. So if you read the letters from left to right, it looked like Raw Seek, and I kind of took off with that crowd.
Hey everybody, you've been making a lot of noise out there, but can you make some noise once more for Kristen? Fantastic. And on that, okay, hold on.
I've always wondered what the motivation for like the atypical format for like statement layouts is. Like, surely someone who does something like that must realize that.
Okay, don't be surprised if they're gunning for you now.
You know, the message is gonna come out different now. People are gonna do something silly with it, right? Like, there was another meme I saw that was, I forget, there was like a poster that was something like, I want you to, like, recognize me or something like that, right? And it was like with the Devil May 5 characters, so you had Virgil just reading the poster that was meant to be read, and you had Dante that was just going like, I, you,
Just
me,
stay out of
you,
their way. Let things cool
I,
down.
you, right?
Come on, I think you've hit them one too many times.
I know, the one I saw that really amused me was, it was supposed to be healthy burgers, right? I think it was like a news article that had, like, healthy burgers, but they split the header, right? They split the title. They split the word healthy.
Right on to left
So
two.
it was like,
You're keeping up with the
you
pace.
know, the first 4 letters of healthy on the first line, and the last 3 letters of healthy on the next line. So, of course, some people would read it as heel thigh burgers. And, they ran with that. Does anyone have any stories like that? You see, like, a weirdly formatted poster that, brings out a statement that's, like, totally not the statement that they meant for you to take from it, but that's how you would, that's what you get from it, because that's how, like, most people would see this poster.
Right, you're on the final lap. Push to the front.
Never before, no. I mean, I imagine most people would probably just design posters to be readable at a glance, but there are some who really flex their artistic muscle. Right. And hey, stylization can be fun, right? I can appreciate a good stylized look, but I think there's got to be a balance to that, right? There's got to be a balance between like an extremely stylized look and readability.
This is looking good. Very good.
I do remember Jersey Mike's totally regretting tweeting, "How do you top your sub?" The soon deleted that tweet after us furries starting responding. I remember that. Their response was something like, "None of you are without sin," right? Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes people forget, right? It's like, oh yeah, you know, internet gonna internet, so you gotta be careful about how you say things, you know? Quick question. I have a clip channel about VTubers who play racing, simcade, arcade racing games. No Mario Kart, though. Would it be okay if I use some of your clips? Yeah, sure, go right ahead. You know, as long as you credit it, and, you know, if you want to do some edits to it, fine, but, you know, don't do anything drastic, right? Make sure the original intent is kept, like, you know. You have my blessing. And, you know, thanks for running that by me, too, right? Thanks for checking in. It's appreciated. It's good to have that confirmation, right? Blocked! You're all blocked! Yeah. There are some other tweets like that, right? Some other tweets that are like, oh, yeah, that might have needed a few more pass-throughs, right? A few more readings of just to make sure you got the right intent out of it. All right, like I remember, what was it, Spider-Man 2? Right, the limited edition that came with the Venom figurine, and they were like, treat yourself to 19 inches of Venom. Yeah. And people were like, yeah, 19 inches, I could totally take that. All of it. Every last inch. Oh, Lord, right? Ah, jeez. If there was anything that required the second pass, it was that one. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do that one again. Maybe running on the outside isn't the game plan. Well, I'm probably gonna do it anyway. Or was it the one tweet by Nintendo? I think they were advertising like the Super Mario Brothers 3D World. That was like, nothing feels better than the inside of a cat. So imagine, you know, all the cat people VTubers had a field day with it. You saw that? Yeah. A lot of people saw that. Of course, Nintendo, unlike Jersey Mike's, didn't make a response to it. I think they just, like, quietly deleted the tweet. As they probably should. It's either that or, like, don't acknowledge it. It's like, yeah, just make a note. Maybe don't use that wording next time.
Great first lap. You're leading the race.
Surely one of them must know when they tweet these things. You would think so. Because, you know, you do have, like, instances of other kind of, like, brand accounts that seem to know the internet game, right? They seem to know how to keep the pulse of the internet's sphere, things like that. So you imagine, maybe, at least in some of those instances, they must be like, oh yeah, no, we're totally going to put this out, and we know exactly the double entendre we're going for here. We know exactly the interpretation people are going to run with, and we totally want them to. You know, something about infamy, right? Even if you're remembered in infamy, at least you'll be remembered. Boy, I sure hope I'm not pulling from a bad source there. I guess a better way to put it would be there's no even bad publicity is better than no publicity. I know that's how some people see things, right? I admit though, looking back on things like brand accounts, they're like a double-edged sword. Right, on one hand, it is cool when they do, like, acknowledge things that are kind of outside of their sphere of influence, right? Like, someone does, like, a Persona 5 reference or something like that, and like, ah, they mentioned Persona 5, OMG. But on the other hand, it feels kind of weird, right? Might be a little strange for a company to try to act all personable and stuff, right? Try to feel like they're trying to sit down and be cool and hip and stuff, right? Even if the accounts are being run by people who would know about the cool and hip stuff, it can be weird sometimes, you know? Was that? Oh yeah, that's another one. Gotta admit, I'm like aware of company accounts now, though it's like a different kind of awareness, right? So as before, I used to follow things like, you know, Wendy's, Arby's, what have you, but these days it's like, oh, I follow like video game companies or like official game accounts and stuff, and some of them even respond in a way. That's the wildest part, right? Like one thing to, you know, tweet about a particular game or respond to a tweet or something, but it's another thing to see, oh yeah, company liked your tweet, or, you know, the game account liked your tweet, right? But the goddamn SteamWorld account is like, oh yeah, they liked my tweet about me beating SteamWorld Heist. I'm like, oh, cool.
Maybe stay out of their park. Don't get taken out.
It's like Wendy's are no stranger to roasting with clapbacks. Oh yeah, right. That's like part of the personable thing I was talking about, right? Weird to see someone who's like essentially, you know, speaking for the company, speaking like a person. You know? I mean, hey, the clapback is still kind of funny and all, but still. I got time. I can get around these guys in the next 2 laps. Should be fine. if I were playing Forza, I would probably totally be going into the green there. There's no way I would have been able to brake hard enough.
Final lap. Keep that lead intact.
It's the final lap. That was a little off.
Wow, Kristen, see some clean lines and smooth racing out there.
See, I want more events like these, right? Ones where you're just like in and out, done in like a few minutes, right? Take your credits and move on to the next one. Now for the second half. We're off to the Silverstone circuit. 3 laps, 3 miles, so this might be a bit. Saw a few turns in there, right? A few really technical parts. That'll be a fun time to go around in these little speedsters.
And we're heading into the final round now, where it'll all be decided.
Yeah. Whoa, dude, it's that one femboy guy. It's me. Yes, I am a femboy guy. Hello, E-Man 999999. How are you doing? Amazing. That's fantastic. It's always great, right? It feels like you hit your stride, just like everything falls into place, right? And it feels like you can start popping off, or, you know, it's like the Emperor's New Groove thing. It's like Patrick Warburton going, oh yeah, it's all coming together. Make me sound like an endangered species or something. Well, I'm certainly not a common one, that's for sure, right? Like, how many femboy VTubers do you see out there? I mean, you know, there's a good number of them, but it's like, when you compare them to, like, yeah, the amount of non-femboy VTubers, it's a greater piece of the pie, right? Yeah, let's go. Ouch. I am a genius. Oh no. Oh, don't worry. There's tons of femboys. Just most of them don't play racing games. Yeah, I kind of noticed that, right? 'Cause I do keep a pulse on other femboy VTubers, and if they do racing, it's like Mario Kart, and if they do driving, it's usually like Truck Simulator or something for a goof, right? They're not out there,
Good start. Hold the lead.
you know, playing games like Grid and Need for Speed and what have you. I mean, I have seen some others playing race games, but yeah. the Venn diagram between femboy VTubers and race game streamers is it's not that much of an intersection, right? Burning rubber, I see. I'm burning a lot of rubber. We did a lot of drifting tonight. A lot of drifting, a lot of braking. Alright. If you hang around the events I'm participating in long enough, you'll definitely get that smell of burnt rubber. Racing games is niche. That's true, right? As I said before, most people, when they talk about racing, it's usually like Mario Kart. And hey, Mario Kart is fun, right? Mario Kart is great. Don't get me wrong, but I like those other racing games too. Keeping it real. Some of the games I play are a bit more realistic, yes. Alright. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? I noticed that I was in reconnecting. I was like, oh no. Better take a break. Take a break real quick. OMG, that offline art just yes. I can hear you. Okay, good. And yeah, I guess you got a glimpse of that offline art, huh? You like it? Ah, man, I love it so much. I'm so glad I commissioned it. It looks like something right out of an anime intro, right? That's like that sort of single frame when they introduce each character in the main cast, and then I flash on the screen and I'm doing my cool pose. He'll love it, thanks. That's why I'm great. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. You know, I have the credits, right? If you want to know who drew that, you can check them out in the credits. And if you really like their art, maybe drop them a commission, right? They absolutely deserve it. All right, let's get back in here. I'm a skedaddle, that one racing femboy. Don't lose. Yeah, we'll see you, E-Man999999. Thanks for dropping by. But yeah, but given how long that period was, that means I'm probably gonna have to stitch this VOD together. It's probably separated into 2 VODs now. We have the before times and the after times. It's a really good thing I decided to just finally pull out another external drive to store my VODs, because my first one was getting full, right up to the limit. I had like 10 gigs left, and I was like, nope. If I want to continue archiving my VODs, I should probably just get another external drive. And luckily I had one around, so I had to do a bit of rearranging with my devices, but got a setup now that I can continue storing VODs for another few years. After that, I'll probably have to start seeking out external drives with like higher storage capacities, probably. But I can cross that bridge when I come to it, right? Kick the can down a few feet. Good for now. Would have a job. From the skebs I've seen, most don't specialize in furry art. Aww. Also, I don't... Why didn't Victory Achieved show up there? There's no sounds or anything either. I'm gonna have to look into that. Alright, I'll refund that when I get first chance to. Sorry about that. It worked before. I don't know why it didn't work now. But yeah, let's go. It is nice. It's nice when you figured things out. All good. It's good to hear. I'm not online on the followed channels. I wonder if that's just like a weird hang-up with the way the streaming thing is going. Fortunately, I don't know if I can fix that now. We'll just have to roll with it, you know? Maybe the universe will course correct itself. Just enjoy watching me? Thanks. I'm glad to have you here. Twitch being Twitch? Yeah. Twitch being Twitch. Built on, like, almost over 20 years worth of code now. Imagine this has got to be a house of cards that is probably just barely holding together. Right, you got like piles and piles of legacy code.
And here we are for the first round, Kristen. How you feeling about this one?
Look, I feel like it's...
Okay, hold on.
With every new feature they try to add, they gotta like test things out, make sure that the old stuff doesn't break, and everything like that. Programming, it's a tricky thing, so I have like all the sympathy in the world for people who have to make programs and maintain programs and try to work with like the old stuff and either update it or maintain it, especially if they weren't there for its creation.
They will not like that a touch too close. Great game.
Time to burn petrol, yeah. Burnt a lot of petrol tonight. A lot of fuel that was just spent driving in circles, or from point A to point B sometimes, right? There were a few sprint races in here.
Well, Alan, that's lucky.
Track days are rough enough in the rain like that. You can only imagine like the smell of rain along with the smell of car exhaust. It's gotta be an interesting combo. Must really take you to a certain place, right? If you're someone who's raced a lot, it's probably like, oh yeah. Memories of track day right there. I just noticed a Pro Racing logo on one of the billboards. I forgot that was a thing they did. Let you know what type of event you're in. It's like, yeah, you're in the Pro event, so we're gonna put it around everywhere. Like, the Crew Motorfest does something similar, right? If you're doing like the special week live event stuff, then they'll have all the decorations changed in accordance, so you'll see everything decorated for the current week. Or yeah, if you're doing like the Legacy event, they'll have everything decorated that way, so that's pretty cool, right? The way they have like a template and they can just work with that.
Oh, they made contact.
Contact with what?
Last lap, so
I mean, I make contact with the lap line, if that's what you mean. Petrichor and burned rubber and petrol, chef's kiss. It'll be a good day with a hot dog and some nachos. Oh yeah. That's some outdoor event food right there. Ah yeah. Event nachos. Get those, like, circular corn chips, right? And then the one tub filled with that nacho cheese that's, like, lukewarm. Just warm enough that you can dip your chip in it and enjoy some nacho cheese that way, but you let it sit too long and it starts looking funky. Hey, the really cheap stuff with the canned jalapenos. Sometimes they don't even have that, right? Sometimes it's just cheese sauce. Okay, that was shorter than I expected. Can y'all hear me? Are we good? Am I good to go? Just want to make sure. Man, what is it with the internet tonight? Very rarely do I get this problem right. At the very least, it only happens once, right? We only get like one major disconnect, but if this happens like more times, then it's gonna make stitching the VOD even trickier. Provided this is going out at all. Considering the lack of response, I have to assume that my connection is still not actually restored. And we're back. Okay, okay. Alright. Thank you for that. Yeah, I was saying before, I don't know what it is with my internet tonight. I mean, sure, I get a hiccup here and there, but it's usually like the one. I think this is the first time in a long while we've had two. At the very least, the second one was like mercifully short. Well, that's gonna just be something I have to do tomorrow, right? Just gonna throw all the videos into DaVinci Resolve, stitch them together, and then I can use that to upload to YouTube. And I got the process down now. It's just like the thing with DaVinci Resolve videos is that if I do like a long rendering that way, the videos usually come out to be like dozens of gigabytes, right? 70 to 80? I mean, I put it on like the highest settings and everything, but I kind of want it to be that way, right? But still, it's like odd, right? Like a VOD I download from Twitch, right? Even if it is like 4 to 5 hours, it's maybe 10 to 12 gigabytes, but if I get something out of DaVinci Resolve, then it balloons to 70. I'm like, man, what's the difference? Like, what does Twitch do that Resolve does differently that makes their output videos so much larger?
Kristen, all right, we'll get back to that shortly because it's time to get started.
Yup. Grab your best needle for the stitching. I will try my best. Oh, that means uploading the video to YouTube's gonna be... It's gonna take a while too, right? Because normally I'd just be able to export the VOD and I can just like do something else on the side, but uploading a piece together VOD from the computer, that's gonna take a while longer. Yeah, remember to take that into account. I mean, I've done it before, so I know the process, but it's just going through it. That kind of changes things, you know.
First lap, you're leading the race.
You not use something like Handbrake to compress file size before uploading? I've not heard of Handbrake before. Maybe I'll check that out. That would be nice, right? For the sake of just like having more disk space and for you know, having easier times to upload videos. Thanks for bringing that to attention, though. I'll have to check out Handbrake then. Honestly, you're just getting a cold seeing how wet the endgame world is. Man, I'm feeling the chills, right? Just like imagining the splashing of the cars passing by from outside. It's like, oh yeah, it's a rainy day out there. Good day to stay inside and get cozy. Maybe I'll do something wild and just like have hot chocolate, right? It's cold enough for that, even if it isn't like exceedingly cold. It's cold enough for that. Don't mention colds to me. All right, yeah, because you're under the weather at the moment.
Keep that lead intact.
Yeah. It do be like that sometimes. Sometimes we're just like, nah, screw it. This day is a wash. Just gonna, you know, lounge about, do nothing, or do minimally anything. And the warm blanket, yeah. Gotta have that warm blanket, the warm, cozy space where you can stay comfy. Getting a bit sick too. Oh man, is it that season? Actual spring fever kind of getting passed around. It's like one last thing before summer comes in. Spring's like, I got one last thing for everyone. Here's your spring fever. That's a bummer. You'll feel better when you get your taste back. That's a sign of things are returning to normal. It's like, oh my god, things taste good again. And get rid of the bad cough. Yeah. Coughs are no fun. It's like, the first few times you cough in the day, it's like, alright, it's fine, but, you know, your throat gets more raw after a while and it starts hurting a lot and you're trying to drink a lot of fluid or, like, just use a lot of cough drops to try to suppress it so you're not coughing as much so that it doesn't hurt as much, and it's like, it's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. It's how it goes, but I'm asleep as much as I can till I feel better. That's the way to do it, right? Sleep, lots of fluids, you know, don't try to do anything too strenuous. Food is like eating styrofoam. Ah, man. That's not a pleasant point to be at. You love styrofoam. Yeah. I love the white foam and how it breaks apart into little white foam balls. Your favorite flavor next to duct tape adhesive? Tape adhesive. You know what I like? I like the envelope glue, right? You know that part you lick to get the envelope to close, right? Yeah, I love it when my tongue gets dry after licking like hundreds of those envelopes. Can really feel the burn there. Oh yeah. Those balls get everywhere. Still find them years later. Ain't that the truth? Right, you just get like a bad foam break apart and you're like, oh yeah. It's like confetti, right? Like confetti or glitter, you're just gonna find it. You're just gonna keep on finding, even long after you think you've cleaned up everything. Oh yeah, envelope glue is nice. Yeah.
Good start.
You know where it's at. You know where it's at, Gunter Maxwell. Ah, kid, of course. If I ever do need to, like, properly close an envelope, I'll just, like, maybe... Alright. How's it? How are things? Man, that was like a more thorough knockout than before. I think it was like 5 minutes or so. Also, yeah, have a good sleep, Gunter Maxwell. Thanks for hanging out. And thanks for the welcome back. But yeah, alright. Well, if the internet's gonna be like this, maybe I'll just get through the rest of this event and then can conclude things from there, right? Hopefully the connection will hold out till then, right? Hopefully it won't be that much longer. Take care, keep on rocking, thanks. You keep on rocking too. Keep on staying strong in the face of incoming sickness. Hopefully it won't, hopefully it'll pass you by, but if it doesn't, hopefully you'll be able to tank your way through it. It's always the scary part with sickness. It's like, oh no, you start coming down with something, but you're just hoping, oh, hopefully this will be a small thing, right? Hopefully it'll pass on by. Hopefully you'll be able to get back to normal, but sometimes it's not like that, right? Sometimes it really just comes and wrecks your day. It's even worse when you can feel it happen in real time, right? It's like you wake up and you feel like, oh, okay, maybe I'm feeling a little off, but as the day progresses, you're just like, it just gets worse. Alright. Oh, good. Round 3 of 3. Okay. At least we managed to complete this one. Alright. Got 5 done, but... it's progress, right? Not to mention... These probably won't take too long, right? In any case, given the way things are, maybe we should cut loose, right? Take our chips and go home and just maybe hope things will be better next time, right? We're gonna have to go off the grid a bit. Maybe the grid will fix itself. Maybe things will be better next week. But hey, we got through the street scene, right? We got through the street scene. We got through a bit of pro racing. About a third of the, well, actually maybe 25% of the way through. Right, quite a bit of it to do, but I think we might be on track to finishing it, and if not, we'll be close to it. We'll definitely hit season 2 within like the next 2 streams or so, right? So yeah, making good progress. Not really a time limit to this thing either, right? So if it does take us longer, well, then that's how it goes. But I'm in it for the long haul, right? We got 3 seasons worth of DLC to get through here. More events, more cars, more good times, and I look forward to that. But for now, I'll go ahead and call it here. Yeah, thanks to everyone who came by and hung around and chatted. And even if you just lurked, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll be back on Friday, where I will conclude South of Midnight. We're in the final 4 chapters, and the way things are going, we'll probably get it done, right? We'll see how the tale of Hazel ends. Hopefully she'll be able to rescue her mom. At the very least, we'll get an ending that's like more sweet than bitter, right? A little bittersweetness is nice, but well, at least end it on a good note, you know? Yeah, we'll see you, Godfather154. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Let's go look for someone to raid as soon as I turn on this video of the menu music. So I'll have something to listen to while I go look for a fella to raid into. I'm gonna try to be quicker about it than usual, cause you know. Nothing would be worse than to prepare for the raid and then suddenly the connection just goes out. Oh, the VOD for this one's gonna be especially fun. Although I guess I had to look up Handbrake, right? Look up Handbrake and see how that is. Maybe I'll get like a really large raw video, but if Handbrake can compress it down to good size for upload, maybe it won't be so bad. So I'll have to spend a lot of time rendering it in DaVinci Resolve and everything, but it is what it is. Right? When a situation happens, you just gotta roll with it. That's how these things go. You're dealt a hand, and it's up to you what you do with it. Just noticed 2 people playing Resident Evil 7. That's probably a coincidence. I don't think there's any special reason for Resident Evil 7 to be streamed. Just 2 people decided at the same time to play Resident Evil 7. Are we back? Okay, I'm seeing stuff. Refresh the page real quick. Okay, see myself on the page. Alright. I gotta turbo my way through this before the internet decides, no! You're gonna be offline for like a few more minutes. Okay. I think I found someone. Just gonna do this real quick. They have raids open. Make sure I'm still online. Okay. Alright. Looks like everything's still up. Alright. Their name in. Okay. Yep. They're on. Looks like they'll be on for a bit. Raid message is raid. And the fellow we're raiding into is Alistair on scene. They are playing Oblivion Remastered, so let's go over there and give them our support. I don't want to dilly-dally too much just in case we disconnect again. Alright, I'll see you on Friday for the conclusion of South of Midnight. Take care.